how did you start this project, and what did the first animals that you saw, either experiencing this show expressing this trait, what made those keep those animals and keep line breeding that stuff?
Well, the one I had is actually the very first Moonstone I ever made. Actually, had the Symphony Trait present in him,
Hmm.
and I thought, because at that time he was the second Moonstone ever made, and I thought mine was just like a really nice looking one. I was like, this looks weird. I was like, it doesn't look like. I was like, I don't know why it has this kind of chain link pattern. It really shouldn't. But I bred them and I produced like one that kind of looked like that. I produced some other like, nice snakes, and I didn't really think too much of it. But I ended up breeding some of those animals back and some of the outcross siblings back to each other, and that was about, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, and that's when I started, and I started seeing that characteristics come up, show up a lot in the offspring, and some even stronger. And then I was like, oh, this is actually something. And at first, I mean, the way it was appearing, I'm like, this is like behave more like mutant-like behavior. This isn't like your typical wild type, poly, like a red phase or a yellow phase or a green phase, or something that's a little more like, variable and hard to control, like tiger, or even like Woma. But anyway, so once I seen these individuals, and I showed them to like just a few close friends and stuff, and people had seen them, and they would like ask, because I hit some like super Arctic and super Arctic Conda versions, and in the Conda, it reacted really wildly. And here's the cool thing is it's very consistent. So this is a very strong and domineering behavior. It's not dominant, but it has domineering behavior. And so I'm like, well, that's pretty good, especially with this doesn't really have any selective line breeding yet. So that means with selective line breeding, you'll be able to increase that power.
Hmm.
And that will be very interesting to see, because I'm still in the early stages.